The scene is set just after the events of the Sydney Lodge Hotel. A dark Mercedes drives through the streets outside of a high-class hotel within Manhattan. Out of the car staggers a bloodied and injured Jan Peterzoon, his driver dragging a torpid corpse behind him. He staggers up to the main desk with a quick gaze into the eye of the receptionist to lead him to floor 3, where he knows his retainer, Frederick, resides. Eventually, almost passing out from the pain and blood loss, seeing the dominated receptionist pulsing with blood, but completely useless to Jan. They eventually get to the door, and with shaking hands,
Siggy walks to the door and just leans against it slightly and just very coyly, "Who is it?"
he croaks out, "Let me in, you fuck."
"I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. I was instructed not to open this door for anybody but Jan Peterson."
"It's me, you ingrate. Let me in."
"Oh, Jan!" He opens the door. "Fancy seeing you here."
Jan pushes his way past Siegfried and almost collapses into whatever manner of furniture he has. The driver drags the torpid body of DuPont within the room.
"Well, well now. Looks like you've been rather busy."
"I need blood."
"You need blood, you say?" "I'm guessing that you'll need some of the blood you brought."
"Yes. Please."
"Well,
"Fine.
because you asked so nicely."
I am in no mood for games."
Siggy will simply walk over to the wet bar that has been converted into more of a cooler and pull out several bags of Vitae and just walk to Jan and hold them out. "You know, Jan, you should really, really try to loosen up sometimes. If you don't laugh at yourself, at least some of the time, you're really just boring and you're going to drive yourself mad."
He grabs the bags and drinks greedily, subduing the beast ever so slightly, keeping the hunger at bay. With minimal effort, the wounds he has taken heal. He falls back into the chair, cradling his head. He talks to his driver, conditioned as he is. Get rid of the car, dump the bodies. The driver leaves.
"Am I to believe that the great and ever sociable Jan Peterson cut loose tonight?"
I had almost met my end, Siegfried. And as we're saying, Jan had to kill some of his herd. I'm going to roll my conscience. He's lost to humanity. He's now humanity 5.
"You seem to be doing fairly fine for it."
I am too weak and tired to retort, Siegfried. But I couldn't think of anywhere safe to store our erstwhile charge.
Out of character, is DuPont? Does DuPont look like DuPont at the moment?
Not one little bit.
Siggy will simply look down at the figure. So who is it exactly?
It's DuPont.
Really?
Yes.
I suppose he availed himself of all of his new friend's little tricks. You know, I've always wondered what a Ventrue tasted like.
And you will continue to wonder.
Very well. I know what's on the menu and what is not. So what do you want to do with him? Torture him? Is that why you came to me, or something else?
I came to you because nowhere else would be safe. Who knows if his damned Sabat brothers would be tracking him. And we need to extract the information before sending him back to Sire.
I suppose it could all be dealt with across the sea. After all, your sire is very, very good at what he does. But I think it would look bad on you if you sent him without finding out all you could first.
Precisely. New York needs the information locked in. That trait isn't right.
Well then, who did you have in mind? I'm skilled, but not skilled in that, and I don't think you are either.
No. My training in the site ended quickly when Miss Ash decided to go on a suicide run on Atlanta. There's only one kindred in the city I know who has the level that we'll be requiring.
Well then, I suppose give that individual a call. Anyone we know?
Mr. Peck, the Toreador.
Ah, the last of a dying breed.
Yarn will use summon DC 5 because he's met Peck before. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 successes, so he's coming with some haste.
Mr. Peck, at the moment he is being summoned, working in his restaurant, trying to earn an honest living, gets a feeling in his head while he's making foie gras, which is a very delicate operation. However, unlike his usual behavior, he gives quick instructions how to fill up the goose, and he drops everything as he tries to ponder what to do, how to get there, where he needs to go. He just quickly grabs his coat from the garderobe, and leaves without saying where he's going, just saying that he's going out, will be back soon, later. And he leaves. As he steps into his van, he starts driving to wherever he needs to go, more going on instinct than anything else.
Siegfried, things might get a little noisy. Could you maintain that we have complete privacy in this locale?
Would you like me to be somewhat out of sight, out of mind?
I meant for the other denizens of the hotel, Siegfried.
Well, I suppose I shall see who's in the next few rooms. And Siegfried will simply spend 3 points of blood and activate up Tenebration 5 to meld into a tenebrous form and begin to seep into the air ducts to go systematically room by room to just make sure that
As
individuals
Mr. Peck
are asleep.
arrives close to where he needs, he parks the van and he steps into the back of the van like he always does, paranoid as he is. And he wonders if he should go into his other form. He watches out the van, feeling the urge to be there as quickly as he can. Highest form of Auspex, and decides to use Obfuscate and go where he needs to go.
He will come up to the third floor, and there'll be a receptionist, hotel staff
He will
waiting
probably go upstairs.
The hotel staff seems to be staring blankly, as if on remote.
Mr. Peck has seen this before. He'll simply nod politely, not to break any masquerade, and simply move on to where he needs to go.
If Mr. Peck becomes visible to the mortal, the door will be opened for him. And he will see a very battered, peeled, but his clothes are
Then
stained
he will,
with blood, torn to pieces with knife cuts. Jan Peterzoon with a body of Ryan Hicks lying on the floor.
Mr. Peck will step slowly into the room. The room doesn't look like it's been fought in. I'm going to use Auspex to see if anyone else is in the room.
At this point, no.
Is anyone else in the room?
At this point, no. You pull.
Thank you. And
Siegfried's around, but he's still making sure we have silence. Thank you for coming, Mr. Peck.
seeing as nobody's there,
Ah.
well, you did ask for a bit of haste. What can I do for you?
This unfortunate specimen is the late Jonathan Dupont. He will be taken to his betters in Germany. But New York needs the information within his mind. As a vested member of the Camarilla, I thought you would be eager to help defend your city with whatever information he has locked away inside there.
I'll see what I can do. Mr. Peck starts taking off his nicely tailored suit. his jacket to be exact, and loosens its tie, places it over one of the chairs, rolls up his sleeves, then he puts the lifeless torpor body of now Mr. Hicks into a chair to stabilize him, because he wants to focus on what he's looking at. Then Mr. Peck puts the chair right across of the chair where Mr. Hicks is sitting, and then he starts focusing on Mr. Hicks very hard. He's going deep into a focus, trying to travel other roads within the mind. Roads that will lead him, hopefully, to in-depth information on how he can make sure that he can assist the Camarilla. Do I get any deduction? Reduction?
Let's see. You only have one success on difficulty 6. You don't get much with only one success, though. It's you have images of slumber,
I know.
of being absent-minded, not really there when you search his mind for anything.
Mr. Peck notices or has the feeling that his earlier summoning has broken his focus somewhat. Still having a mind that wanders around, he reaches with his hand all the way up to the face and head of the now very broken Mr. Hicks. He tries to focus again. I'll take an increase of 1 for difficulty.
Keep in mind that every attempt costs 1 willpower point on that mind.
No problem. I'll go to willpower now.
Well, this is the second one, so this would be
Willpower 8. Okay, fine. There you go.
4 successes.
Yeah, difficulty 8 left at least.
It's difficulty 6 at the moment. Well, you do find more this time, but you find images of blood spattered, bodies crumbling down in front of you. It's mainly images of death that you find right now. It's sadly you need 5 or more successes to find any deep or buried secrets inside his mind. So you can easily ascertain that this is the final memory, or the last memories of Ryan Hicks before he went into his torpor. Memories of death and destruction.
Mr. Peck actually wanders around through all this death and destruction, trying to find for him a common denominator. After all, he also tries to be a student of death. Not particularly destruction, though. As he wanders around in your mind, he thinks he has seen enough, doesn't have the feeling that he could reach any further.
You do get as you're sifting through the death and destruction, you find a pristine man standing there, victorious over all the dead bodies. It doesn't look like anyone you know, but as you're filtering through his mind, his consciousness, the idea of this pristine, well-dressed man correlates with young Peter's own.
Peck starts taking distance from what he is seeing, starts trying to find a way back to where he was in the room with young Peter's own being beaten, bruised, and as he slowly exits the mind, he tries vividly to explain slowly what images he has seen as an image of final death, destruction, and he will describe the the victory he has seen, the victory of young Peter's own over all this destruction.
It's a shame he cannot give us something more concrete. His mind must be a mess. So close to the beast, so misguided as he is, it should not be surprising. I hesitate, for we need the information that he holds. What's a bite? He has met where they lay their haven. Perhaps we should revive him and then ask him more directly.
Even though the camera is completely jacked at the moment, Siegfried will reform in the room, flanking Jan Peterzoon.
You will incredibly startle Mr. Peck because he will see you as a shadowy figure suddenly appearing. He won't like that at all. He'll immediately grab behind his back to where a hunting knife is in a holder, and he will take 3 steps back and activate celerity ready to go.
Calm yourself, Mr. Peck. He's my retainer.
Slippery.
Guten Tag. Everyone is sleeping. And yes, when I say sleeping, I mean sleeping.
Good. Because it seems Mr. Peck's first initial delving into our lost nephew's mind has revolved in nothing but his own madness. We will have to revive him and interrogate him personally.
Well, then it is what it is. And with that, he will activate Feindrol. And simply wait for DuPont to be woken back up.
Do you have a stake within this apartment, Siegfried?
We never leave home without them.
Yeah,
Siegfried will go to the large desk and simply pull one out and flip it over in his hand and hold it out handle first to Jan.
Jan will take off his suit jacket, wrecked as it is, roll up his sleeves. He hates this sort of work. It's not what he's built for. It's not the most use you can do for the Camarilla at desperate times. And so he guides the stake over DuPont's heart and hammers it in with all the potency he can muster. And then, as the stake slips through rib cages, cracking bone and piercing flesh, he takes the silver knife, brown with blood, from DuPont's own, wipes it, and cuts himself briefly with the smallest drops into DuPont's mouth.
And the blood will enter his body, make his way down. Slowly, the blood of Jan Peterson will course through his veins, awakening him from his slumber, but not entirely, for he is asleep at the moment. So with eyes closed, he senses his surrounding, but knows he cannot do anything.
I'll walk up to him, taking his eyelid and forcing it open. And with his raspy voice, he will use his dominate. You will be compliant to all our questions.
Mesmerize, I suppose?
Sorry?
Difficulty 6. Yep.
Easy 6. Manipulation and
Leadership, I believe, if it's in the mesmerize.
Yes, it is.
yeah, that's 9 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mhm.
Siegfried, if you would be so kind as to restrain Mr. Pond.
Well, kinda have to roll for that one.
Oh, he's still staked, so you don't have to do much.
Yes, but we're gonna have to unstake you. So
Mm-hmm.
Manipulation and occult, difficulty 7.
What are you trying to do?
he's using tendrils to tie you up.
No sense in hiding it from DuPont, since DuPont already knows him. And I think Peck has met him before, too.
Wow, that's going to be interesting for Peck.
Spanking a willpower. 1, 2, 3 successes. So 3 tendrils will make their way up and wrap their way around his, one around his torso, just at the elbow point, while the other 2 wrap around his shoulders and arms to keep him firmly rooted down.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Peck, he says, as Jan moves over, gripping the stake, if you have any suggestions for which questions we shall ask him, then please do not hesitate to speak up.
Don't worry, you'll have my full compliance. Of course, I have few ideas, suggestions, such as the easy questions, location, future plans he might have been in, such things.
Yes, we think along the same lines. But he pulls the stake out. It hovered next to his chest.
And Brian will close his eyes, hang his head. I see you're all here. If you could do me one little favor, dear uncle. Do you mind giving me a cigarette?
I'm afraid I don't smoke.
I should have a pack on me.
Siegfried will lean over him and simply ask him, "Yes or no? Are you going to try anything funny?"
With his eyes still closed. No.
And is that in any way a lie?
No.
He'll reach down and pull the cigarette out, or the pack of cigarettes out in the lighter, and he'll light it for Ryan before handing it to him, and then place it in between his lips. A nasty habit, my old friend. A nasty habit.
Yes. Well.
So who have you met within the Sabbat?
Many.
What are their names?
Yo-Yo, Viker, Arthur, Louis. I don't remember the old man though. Simon.
What clans do they hail?
Let me think. Don't know about the old man. Viker is a Bruja. Simon, Malkavian. Louis is Serpent of Light. Arthur is a Bruja. Yo-Yo, I think, is a gangrel.
Who is their leader?
Hard to say. Many of them take on the roles of a leader. But I do believe the old man is the highest.
Where are they staying? Where do they make haven?
Staten Island.
Where?
It changes from time to time, but it depends on who you want to know about where they stay.
All of them. All of them that you know of. Every location.
Happy location. Fort Wadsworth is the most dominant place. Well defended, well organized. Another one is a small country house somewhere in Staten Island. And those are the places I've been to.
How is the fort defended?
How is it defended? Heavily by traps, kine, and ghouls. I do not know the intricacies, though. I am not privy to such a thing.
What of their plans?
Their plans. It differs from man to man. Some wish to convert, some wish to rule.
Who have they targeted for conversion?
Many people. Do you wish to have all the names?
Yes.
And he opens his eyes for a moment and looks towards Peck. Mr. Peck. Wearing green. Rose. Let's see. Limey. Some more successful than others, though.
Siggy's just going to look at Mr. Peck and speak very plainly to DuPont. Is Mr. Peck leaning towards conversion?
You will have to ask Mr. Peck. You can never be too sure how far the conversion has already gone.
Not very pertinent to the moment, but why did you defect?
As he finishes a cigarette. Because it was the only way for me to be truly free. And he will spend 3 blood points into stamina. And succumbs to the beast.
Alright.
Yeah, roll your instinct.
Well, the instinct is about... Well, actually I have self-control, so I'm just gonna fail it to
Frenzy.
frenzy. As fangs descend. Okay, I hear some funny music. Fangs descend, and he starts to growl and pull against the arms of the abyss, wanting to free himself from his chains that hold him down. Initiative?
Sounds good.
Well, alright. I don't know if you're going to be able to see my roll or not.
We can't see your roll, but you're an admin, so we trust you.
Although we probably shouldn't.
What's 12 for me?
They're never gonna,
Roll for you.
they're never gonna buy it. I got a 10. I swear to
Yeah.
God.
Like I said, we don't buy it. No, just kidding.
Slit my wrist if I'm lying.
No, I don't want your death on my hands. Alright,
Probably.
I have a 12 in total.
I have 12 as well.
I have
You'll probably go before me. Don't worry.
I have the insane amount of 19.
17.
Alright.
Okay, so Jonathan and Jan will declare first. Jan is still pretty busted and not that hot, so he'll probably just try and stake John again. He's got the stake in his hand.
Jonathan or Ryan will squirm and try to avoid the stake. Yeah.
Well, trying to get out of the grapple, I think, is the.
Yeah, that's going to be opposed strength rolls, I believe.
So you're going to escape the grapple.
Yeah, those tentacles.
But that's gonna happen on my turn, not before.
Ziggy, what you up?
I think he's going to position himself between Jan and Peck. And spend a point on celerity, or spend one point on celerity, and then I don't know if you can use celerity and discipline together or not.
Only if it's a physical discipline, I believe.
Yeah, can't do that. So then I'm not going to spend a celerity and just take on Black Metamorphosis and hold my turn.
How long will that take though?
2 blood points, so I can do that very easily.
Oh, because I thought Black Metamorphosis took a while to.
It usually takes two turns because of the fact that you have to.
Yeah, it's 2 blood points, so people below at 10th generation or higher have to wait 2 turns to activate it.
Celebration. Black Metamorphosis?
Yep.
Because I do believe it takes. I'm not sure if it takes multiple turns.
It's not like Zulo form, which takes several turns.
Vampires of lower generation may have to take 2 turns, but you still have to make the roll.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, cool.
Mr. Peck.
Mr. Pecky.
Amongst us, what are you doing?
Mr. Peck will do what he always does the moment something goes wrong. He will pull his knife from where he had it all along, and he will simply use 1 blood to activate celerity and go on the defensive. Full defensive.
Okie dokie.
Then he goes to Ziggy, your 10 numbers form roll.
Alright. Gonna spend 2 blood points and a willpower. Manipulation plus courage, which is 4 and 5.
Difficulty 7.
Yep.
Just hope your ones doesn't negate your automatic success. Because that can happen.
Yep. No, I managed to do it. On the
You
skin of my teeth, but I managed to do it.
bastard. Alright. That's cool.
So he'll take on his giant shadowy form, and that's all he'll do. That's all he can do.
Right. You're saying that Jan goes before?
I do believe so. I can't remember what I rolled. We could have a roll off.
Yeah, just roll off.
Just yeah, you go first.
Okay. Alright. That's going to be strength. No, dex rather. Plus my melee.
Yep, sir.
It's called shot.
It's called shot to the heart, but you are like grappled.
Yeah. And
So it would be DC 9, but it's probably going to be DC 6.
Storyteller, I believe, is going to. Let's put this one up to Vinny to decide.
7. Just to
7?
split the difference.
and I will make a dexterity athletics to swim.
You can't dodge, you're grappled.
Okay. 2 successes then.
Only 1 success. To hit you.
Yeah, 2 8s, bro.
You had 3 8s.
Yeah.
2 8s actually. Not
I
3.
counted 2.
You said DC 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2 8s count.
Oh, I thought it was a 6. Okay. So 1 plus 3 strength plus potence plus 1. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, soak.
Now, if he completely fails to soak,
Nope,
Which
he does not.
I completely succeed to soak.
Yeah. What's that for you? You got a speciality, don't you? So 1,
No,
2.
I don't.
No, you don't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's more than enough.
7. Yeah, insane amounts.
Bounces off. Alright, so I will have to make a strength brawl opposed to.
To Siggy's tentacles.
Yeah, is it? Let's just do per tentacle.
Hmm?
Want to do per tentacle, or how do you want to, or increase
Just do
the
them.
difficulty?
I just recommend doing it in one go and just having a teamwork bonus on the tentacles.
So the
Alright.
tentacles will hold you at a lower difficulty, let's say.
Sure. But I'm also gonna make one roll or multiple rolls. No, never mind.
This
I'll
one.
just make one.
Just one roll. Yeah.
Alright, I have 5 successes.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Alright, so the observation trait plus potence and celerity.
How does celerity count for?
Celerity is not counting.
Yeah. But potence is, so...
Strength plus potence and brawl. And I don't think your tentacles have a brawl.
I think they have brawl equal to his obtenebration rating.
That's possible. I
How was
guess.
it? How was its strength equal to
It has
obtenebration?
strength equal to the obtenebration rating. They don't.
That's strength, not brawl.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think they would have a brawl.
That would make Arms of the Abyss insidiously broken.
Yeah.
So we'll say difficulty 4 for the team workout, or -3 difficulty, so 3 for each tentacle holding on to him. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so I break free.
Yes, you do.
Ah! You're gonna have to kill me, Peterson.
Well, shit.
Because now I'm free, but I don't have any actions left, so yay.
So, are we going to keep the same initiative or reroll?
Slayer actions first.
Does anyone defend anyone on the celerity?
Peck.
Yeah, me.
Mr. Peck.
Oh,
But I went on the full defense, so that's no attacking actions, I believe.
No,
I
that's your
don't
normal.
believe you can go on full defense if you're on celerity.
Well, he used his main action to be defensive, and now you can do whatever you want with your celerity.
Okay.
Usually. That's the way we do it.
Okay. I'm happy with that. Abraham's happy with that.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, I was at 1 egg. Alright, cool.
Okay. Can I make a sneak attack? And I know I have to do something for it, but since you're being all focused on Jan Pieterzoon, in my opinion, it's just stepping out of your sight, making an attack.
It's a combat. Usually you are aware of everyone. But
you'll be able to sneak up on him unless you have vanished from the mind's eye.
You could just attack him from behind and get a couple of extra dice, though.
that's almost possible.
That sounds more like Mr. Peck. Then I will attack from behind.
Go ahead, man. I won't be defending.
I know you won't, but then again, I'm not really good at this crap. I
It's
usually
alright, Mr. It's alright, Mr.
King.
Peck.
Do you get 2 extra from on the attack or on the damage?
Oh, this is just my normal dexterity. I don't know if you get extra to hit or extra to damage.
Yeah.
Do you have any dots of melee?
Nope.
Okay, in which case, it's you're using a knife, aren't you?
So it is
Yep.
4 successes still.
So yeah, knives are attack with the knife is difficulty 4 at the moment.
There
Yeah.
you go.
So
Just add the 2 extra to the damage to speed things up.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's the damage of the knife of +1 plus an extra 2 for the backstab.
Mm-hmm. Then your strength and potence.
3 successes.
3. Alright.
My God, he's going to kill everyone.
So that's 1. So how does that work when you're frenzying, though?
You don't take any wound penalties at the moment because you're frightened.
All right. Yeah, I'm keeping this in mind for when I go Ash. Then.
If they want to ash you with lethal damage, they need to double the amount of health level.
Oh, but I'm already now I'm already full on lethal against, so I already know how much I need before I'm dead. Right.
My knife never tasted venture before.
Right. Next round.
Okay, initiatives.
Keep the same initiatives and just roll through it again.
I don't mind either way.
Yeah, it just keeps the same initiative, yeah.
Alright, so Jan and Ryan. Well, Jan, you're the bane of my eye, so I'm gonna give you a nice little hug and tell you how much I love you.
That is actually quite beautiful.
I will be splitting my dice pool to hopefully grab and bite.
Jan will, realizing that this is getting out of control, will try and dominate him and tell him to lay down.
The difficulty is raised by 2 because he's in frenzy.
Yep.
And
Next
it's already quite difficult. I imagine it's a command, right? That you're going to be using.
Yeah.
No. We'll hear about that.
Down, boy.
Down.
KO.
And Peck.
Right.
Ziggy then Peck.
Oh, Ziggy then Peck, sorry.
I wonder how I might we'll see when you roll. How I'll react to that.
Siggy has the 3 tentacles still on the ground, plus a couple of actions from the tentacles on the form, plus his normal action. He'll spend a point for celerity. And he is going to attempt to torpor DuPont by just beating him into torpor again.
Everything is going to beat the crap out of him. Okay?
Okay.
And Peck.
Pecky.
I will try to continue what I already was doing, trying to get him back into the torpor. I understand that he wants to destroy, though, so I'm only going to do I'm not going to spend celerity this round.
How nice of you. Alright, make your roll, sir.
Blood is so expensive, you know that.
Oh, yeah. So that's 1 success.
Yes.
Not dodging or anything, so.
Don't forget the extra 2 damage die.
Yeah, it's probably still from behind. You naughty, naughty boy.
Oop.
2?
Yes.
I think you got
So-
this one in the bag.
Sorry. At this moment, probably all of his clothing is being ripped to shreds. Thank you.
Such a waste.
Just gonna go for the 3 tentacles, just lowering their difficulty on the attack, because I don't want to roll 3 separate rolls.
Do they do bashing or lethal?
Lethal.
They do lethal because they're full.
Nice. Right. Go ahead, man.
One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 successes.
All right.
And so that's 7 plus their strength rating, I believe.
Strength and potence.
Jonathan, welcome to the tentacle party.
Yay! Tentacle party.
So that's 7 plus 9 again, so that's 16 dice of damage.
All right. Hit me
Behold,
with your bad
Emperor's
shots.
tentacles of spiky intrusion.
Yup. Make your roll, sir. Difficulty 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm just gonna print screen on this one, so I can send this to you later.
Right, let me roll. So 7. So that's 7 lethal.
You're down.
Oh,
And
give me a nice description, because you're going to ash him. He was already full on lethal, had 1 ag and 7 more.
Siegfried's prime directive anytime that he is with Jan is to keep Jan safe at all times. And with a frenzying Ventru, who is a turncoat, and a potential turncoat in Peck, even though Peck is using the opportunity to make himself look good, Siggy will take no chances, and if Jan wants to give him shit about it, he can give him shit about it on the way back to Europe. The 3 tentacles just begin to rip into Jonathan, one after the other, just taking huge portions of flesh out, taking a leg off here, an arm off there, and then constricting together all at once. They grab various parts of him that are still left together and just rip in a very just sudden motion, which causes DuPont's body to explode in a moment of blood before ash just goes everywhere.
And as you're ripping pieces out of Ryan, Jonathan, for a brief moment, give me a sec, you can see the old familiar shape of Jonathan DuPont as he raises his head towards the heavens.
Siegfried will simply say, "I never wanted it to be like this, my old friend."
Finally, my soul can be free. Thank you. Thank you.
God damn it, Siegfried, did you really have to split him open like a piñata?
Siegfried just simply begins to adjust the gloves on his hands and turns back to Jan, still holding out the black metamorphosis, but simply smiling with the large fangs and the glowing eyes, and he just turns to Jan. "What was I told to do when it came in regards to you?"
I don't suppose you gentlemen own any cleaning companies. I don't think we
Spec will rise up from where he's standing, as he just had a body decompose on the tip of his knife.
And he was covered in blood. And
He is covered in dust, blood, gore, everything. And he will go towards the nearest bathroom to clean up.
"Door open, please. Door open."
I don't think we're going to get our deposit back.
"Did you ever expect to, rooming with me?"
It is a shame. We couldn't get more information. But we got enough. And Jan takes out his phone and rings the prince.
Cool, cool. Just give me a sec. This is Silas.
Hello, Mr. Silas. This is Jan. We're going to need an extraction and a cleanup crew in the Manhattan Hotel. He gives an address, this number.
What happened? I can have a cleanup crew on its way immediately.
We'll give you our full report in due time. I believe this is safer face-to-face, Mr. Silas.
I see. Are you and everyone else in a safety?
Yes, just a little hard to explain to the door staff.
I have the required people sent over. Hopper will be waiting in a car outside to pick you up, and I'll have the rest of them deal with the situation for you. Is there anything else I should know?
Not at this juncture.
From the bathroom, Jan will hear fresh clothing.
I recognize that voice. I'll have a couple of suits sent over.
Thank you.
And with that, a quick click, and Mr. Silas is going to gather up his selection of retainers to go and sort that out.
Okay, and we'll end the scene there, I think. Ready for the next part.